Hello, I'm Captain Phoenix and welcome to my corner. Today it's the 12th of November and today is the big record fair, the world's largest record fair taking place in Den Bosch in the Netherlands. I would have loved to have been there, but that was not possible this year. I have some work to do in the weekend and there's a little travel from Copenhagen to the Netherlands. So I couldn't go this year. But I went to a small local record fair, and I'll like to show you a little of what I was able to find there, and maybe encourage you to go to small record fairs in your neighborhood if there are some, because I think that you can find some good records for a very decent price. At least that was my experience from today. So I'll show you, and I'd like to tell you a little about that. Well, here are most of the records that I bought today. Rather a big stack. It's a little bit heavy, so I'll put it down here. I think I had like 60 or maybe 65 records with me back from the record fair. It was just a 20 minutes drive away at a local library. And there were professional as well as ordinary people selling records there. I bought some for myself, and I bought a lot, which I'll take to a friend who is having a used bookstore, and he likes to sell some records there as well. So when I've got extra records, I bring them to the shop, and some of them he sell, and we share what the profit there's in that. So the people that are looking for books are almost the same people that are looking for records, is our experience, and so he has a lot of traffic in his shop because we have records here. Yeah, so I'll start showing you the ones that I bought for myself. The first one was this Bee Gees Odessa 2LP. And it's a version which is made, I think you can see it maybe, it's velvet and gold print on the outside. And that was the main reason I took it. It feels and it looks fantastic, so I had to have it. Then there were a couple of records from the Danish label Steeplechase, one with Duke Jordan, an American musician who lived in Denmark for several years, and there's Ed Thigpen as well on drums, and he lived here for many years as well. Another one with the Danish bass player Niels Henning Ørsted Petersen, which I think somebody outside of Denmark could know as well. Then for some crazy reason I didn't have the Woodstock triple album in my collection, so it was up there for like 12 or 13 euros in a nice condition, though with a little cut, so I had to have that. And then there was this Ace double compilation with the Danish psychic rock band, which I didn't have either, so I got that. Free Heartbreaker, and then the last ones for myself was Shelly Man on Impulse. Here it's a release from the late, I think it's in the late 60s, but I'm not sure. No, 69 I think it is. But it's Rudy Van Gelder in the Dead Wax, so I guess it could have been the original metalwork they used for this one. It's always nice to find a good Impulse record, and for a very fair price. I think I paid like 11 euros for this one. I'm looking forward to listen to that. And then a bootleg, an unofficial release with Bill Evans, recorded somewhere in the States in the 65. It's not possible to buy this one on Discogs, but so if you want it or want these kinds of records, you have to find them in record fairs and places like that. And then the rest of the records, this big stack here, I think you can maybe see there's still plenty left here. These I bought to take to the bookshop, so my friend could sell them there and have a little activity in his shop. For these ones, I paid between €1.5 and €2.5 each, and they're not really rare records there, but there are a lot of good records. So I think this shows that you are able to, at least here in Denmark and Copenhagen, you're able to find good records for yourself and for somebody that you want to push into the vinyl for very, very fair prices. So these ones were between 1.5 and 2 euros, or 1.5, $2. There were some Eric Clapton records, Backless, Another Ticket, the famous 461 Ocean Boulevard with I Shot the Sheriff on, and yeah, Motherless Children, a great record. And Easy Was Here. Probably you wouldn't make a cover like this nowadays, but it's back in from '75, so things were different there. Then a few a little more hard rock records, Nazareth, stuff from the '70s, Yes, Going for the One, and then a couple of records with a Canadian band, Bachman Turner Overdrive, especially this one, Not Fragile. I think that was their big album. This is not sophisticated music. There are not so many different chords in it, but it's actually this one I like a lot, and there are many hits on it. I think they could have put out 5 or 6 singles from this album alone. So somebody's gonna be happy for that. I found some Elton John records as well. This one, Leather Jackets '86, not very good period for Elton John live here and there. I think it's from the States and England as well, two live records, Royal Festival Hall or Madison Square Garden, yeah. The famous Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player from '72. Caribou, also a very good Elton John record, and one of the last really good ones he made in the '70s, and then when he got to this one, Rock of the West, I think he was tired. He has produced too much for and Furious Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road, Captain Fantastic, and Brown Dirt Cowboy, and I think he was drinking a lot at that time. So this one is not so good, but for 1.5 euro, it's really a good price. A few jazz records as well. Eddie Moeller, Land of Midnight Sun, and here somebody who's not probably known so well outside of Scandinavian. That's Jukka Tolonen, Finnish guitarist, as you can see, and he had a band. He made some solo records, and he had a band, Jukka Tolonen Band, or Just Those Boys, as they called themselves. He was very famous in Scandinavia and recorded in Denmark and Finland. Later he ran into some troubles. And I've heard that he was homeless for a period of time, and that's strange for a person who's been so well known and doing so well, though it was only in Scandinavia. Yeah. Then some other records with male artists mostly. David Knopfler, Mark Knopfler's brother, Little Steven, Voice of America here. He was the guitarist with Bruce Springsteen for many years. Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Armed Forces, with this funny cover which opens in many different directions in the back. Roy Orbison, J.J. Cale, Troubadour, another good record, and this one, very good recording, Lou Reed, New York, from '89. This one has just been re-released as a 2 LP, and there's almost an hour of music here, so it's a little it's not so dynamic as it is on the 2 LP version, which just came out here a couple of months or weeks ago. So, but it's a very good record. I really can recommend it, also in this form. Another greatest hits, Lou Reed with the Walk on the Wild Side and the Satellite of Love, and all his best-known songs for 2.5 euro. I mean, it's hard to just leave it in the bin. Bob Dylan, Desire, was there as well, Dutch pressing, but one of Bob Dylan's best records. I think it's for sure in the top 10, maybe even higher. Great recording from the '70s. Somebody's going to be very happy for this one. I found some Simon Garfunkel as well, Bridge Over Troubled Water, maybe one of the most sold records at all. But still for 1.5 euro. Paul Simon, Hearts and Bones with the Allergy. I think the hit from that one. A little later, Paul Simon, The Rhythm of the Saints is from 1990. So it's a little later, Paul Simon, and then Art Garfunkel, one of his solo albums, Lefty. I must say that Art Garfunkel didn't do so well as after they split up. I think Paul Simon made the best records from that period. Some Uriah Heep, which I was very surprised to find at €1.5. Wonderworld, Fallen Angel, and one of Uriah Heep's best records here. The Demons and Wizards, and the doubled live album, Uriah Heep Live, also a great record, almost kind of a greatest hits record for them with a 10 pages insert, which is still here. And this one was also €1.5, $1.5. I think that's amazing. A couple of Eagles records, the Long Run and Hotel California. Somebody's gonna pick this up very fast when it arrives in the shop. Some double albums here. A little tired. Joe's Garage with Frank Zappa. ELO, Out of the Blue, and a very 80s album here. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. And the last ones I'll show you here. The last ones I bought. 10cc, their last album from the original configuration. They split up after this one. None of them did any better than they did together. This is maybe not the best one, but it still holds up. How Dare You, it's called. Maybe the original soundtrack is better, but it's nice. It's a little bit advanced in their instrumentations. Double Fantasy, John Lennon, Yoko Ono. Sinead O'Connor. I'll have to remove that sticker there. And one that I see, this was also €1.5, $1.5. I see this often for 10 times as much. So that's really, it was a bargain, and that's the kind of bargains you can do at least around here. Brian Ferry, his first solo album after Roxy Music. Another Time, Another Place. Very stylish looking. Alan Parsons, Eye in the Sky. Good sound on this one. And then a couple of greatest hits to round up with the Byrds, the greatest hits, and a Spanish version of the Beatles' 20 greatest hits. No, Éxitos de Oro. No, that's something about gold. There's almost an hour of music on one disc here, so I'm not sure that it'll sound very good. But it will make a good introduction for somebody who would like to go into Beatles, and it's the original versions. So it's not translated into Spanish. That was what I found today, and I would like to encourage you to go to some record fairs, flea markets, look for records in your vicinity. I very often find something that surprises me, and for a very low price in many cases. So with that said, I would thank you for your time, for seeing my video here. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider to subscribe. That will help my channel to pop up on YouTube, and it will make me very happy. So thank you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.